But no, I thought that was an interesting comment that, College Football 25 is like a game that is literally pushing people to buy consoles, and it's just like it's a sports game. Because like when like GTA 6 is going to be another one that's going to push people to buy new consoles.
Almost definitely.
And college football is in that realm, but it's for college football fans. You know what I mean? Like that's what it's for.
It's not even. I wouldn't even say it's for college football fans necessarily. It's just like football fans who stopped playing games,
Yeah.
but they used to like they remember playing NCAA
Yep.
when they were because believe me, I've heard plenty of people in the last few days that I know talking about potentially wanting to buy an Xbox or something to play it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I've actually heard a lot of that in the last week.
I mean, heck, I heard that just yesterday. I was at a special event for one of the stores that I go to and service, and there was another rep there as well for another company, and me and him got to talking about it. It's like, oh, do you do any games? Like, oh, no, I don't do any games. It's like, okay, we start talking about college football. He's like, man, I will say, I am thinking about buying a new Xbox or a PlayStation. I haven't had a new console since the PS3. But I am thinking about buying a PlayStation 5 to play this game. And I'm like, respect. Respect. So, I mean, no, what you just said is the best way to. It's football fans that stop playing. I mean, that's what it's for. It's for football fans. It's, for the people that, like Tyler that plays nothing but sports games. It's people like that. It's just the college football fan base. And it's just, I think, to the average gamer, to the average fan, I think it's just like, don't really comprehend, I guess, like just how massive a release that is if you literally don't follow college football or football gaming at all. Like this is a big release. 11 years since the last game. Now, right off the top, going into full thoughts of the game, I'm gonna go ahead and say this. All right, it's a few days since the early access release. I know the game just officially launched yesterday, so there's still a lot of people that's about to be playing it over the weekend for the first time. But I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I think it's already time to get out of the honeymoon phase and it starts time to get a little real about this game. I'm not saying it's bad, but let's get a little real with it. All right, my stance on the game. I don't think it's a perfect game by any means. It's not like this glorious masterpiece that EA cooked up for college football fans. I think there is a lot of glaring issues. I don't think glaring is the right word. There's a lot of issues for the game, right? Like there's a lot of, some of them are nitpicks, some of them aren't nitpicks. I definitely think that, while it's a fun game that I will continue to play an ungodly amount, especially just playing with friends. Haven't got to do that in 10 damn years. That look so excited for that. There are things about it that don't make it a perfect game. And honestly, one of the random things that annoys the shit out of me, I don't think will ever be fixed, and it will probably be a permanent thing in all games going forward. And it can be a nitpick that some people saw. Like shout Shane at ATFS, like when we talked about it, like all in our little group chat, he said it doesn't bother him. All right, cool. Doesn't bother you. It does bother me because like one of the most glorious things about the college football games is like you just had like free control to like do everything. You know what I mean? Like in terms of editing and just customization, right? So like I understand completely not being able to edit, the players in the game because of likeliness, right? NIL stuff, I totally get it. But the one random thing that just irks me is like the inability to like edit custom players in dynasties. Like I can't change numbers at all because numbers are tied to players' likeliness. So I totally get it. But like there is no system in the game that allows me to edit an original recruit, his number, or I can edit their gear and stuff, and that's about it. Like that little bit just kind of irritates me because like one of the beauties of college football games is the full level of customization, right? So like I understand not being able to change like Travis Hunter and Quinn Ewers. I get it. It's the likeliness. It's their image. I totally understand. But it's like that EA removed it from the game completely. They were scared to get sued. That's it. They didn't want someone to find a way to change players and potentially get sued by the player because now they're different in one random gamer's game. It's stupid to me. You know what I mean? But, I mean, whatever. Got to do what you got to do. In terms of the game itself, I think the gameplay feels incredible. It does not feel like Madden, which is a huge W because I think Madden feels terrible. I have not actively played Madden since probably Madden 20, so that's Madden 2019. Because like Madden 21 and on, they continue to like evolve the gameplay, and I just feel like it felt too like almost like a slog is the best way I can put it. While this game, like the gameplay feels very fluid, and just playing the game itself, like all your movements on the field and everything feels to an extent kind of snappy. And I'm using the word snappy because I have a negative that involves that word. But the gameplay, like just the movement of the players and everything of the sort, that feels snappy, that feels fluid. Now, one massive little issue I personally have, a nitpick, and I'm curious if you've seen this too. So I noticed this immediately in my first game. And the first thing I said when I saw this is like, all right, makes sense why this did not come out on previous consoles. Don't think they could run it. Does the game feel laggy at all to you with everything going on? Because the game feels laggy to me. Like all the over the top transitions, they all feel like college football and they all look incredible. But there's so much happening at once that I don't feel like my PS5 can keep up. Like, did you feel that at all? Because or are you playing on Xbox?
I'm playing on an Xbox Series S.
Okay, because that's how I feel. Is that I feel like the game is almost lagging because of the amount of transitions. Did you notice that at all, or is it just on like me with a PS5?
I don't know if I would call it lagging.
I don't know if lagging is the right word either.
Where you've been using the term like snappy, I haven't felt like necessarily snappy. I've felt not necessarily lag, but they're like, I feel like there's a lot of delay into every damn thing I try to do.
That's why I chose the word snappy for just the actual gameplay of like moving on the field and stuff.
Snappy makes, like, when you said snappy, I'm like, oh, okay, when you're actually running, like when you're trying to run around with a player, yeah, it feels like you can run
and just change direction.
Well, it feels like you could change direction, but there's definitely been times where I'm playing it, especially if you've done any of like the Road to Glory stuff and done some of the practice drills and stuff that they have in there.
Yeah.
There's definitely moments where like a player will start running and it's like you might try to like angle to run a different direction, but it's almost like it's not allowed to just turn and start running that way because the character will just like stop and their model almost does like a 360 or something because it's trying to figure out how to go that way.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Steve in chat. He's popped in and chatting as well. It stutters. It's not lagging. Stutters is a better word. I didn't know if lagging was the right word. I didn't think it was, but it does stutter in my opinion, with all the transitions and everything going on. But one area with the whole snappy word that annoys the shit out of me is like while the gameplay on the field already, after I snap the ball, hand it off, pass it, whatever, that all feels good. That all feels fluid, quick, and snappy. But where it kills me is at the line of scrimmage. All right. When it comes to like anyone who plays football games, college, Madden, whatever, you memorize everything very quickly, right? That's how I operate, dude. And it just like every player does. Like I'm making adjustments nonstop. I'm changing hot routes. I'm changing line, which way they're going, full slide, max protection, whatever. I'm changing D line. I'm changing secondary. I'm changing linebackers. Dude, that whole process is where it's not snappy at all. I'm so used to being like boom, 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 and it's snappy as hell. Everything that I did just changes and goes on the spot. Dude, this game's got such a stagger for it. Where it's like it takes me like at least 2 seconds. I know it's like 2 seconds. That shit matters in these games to change like hot routes and like line position and stuff like that. That's where it's not snappy, and it absolutely drives me insane.
See, I've run into that a little bit actually. But I haven't run into it to the extent that you would have, because I don't play football games.
Yeah,
I don't give a shit about most of that. I'm the casual person who's gonna come in there and I'm just gonna swap between like it's like doing a pass defense and a blitz.
Yeah,
that's all I'm really doing as I'm getting used to the game.
Right.
But even then, especially as you go through it, like the AI, if you're playing against the AI and that, they'll do rushed offenses, no huddles and stuff like that. And then you're kind of forced to use their system for that, for choosing your defense or and all that. It's not it's not responsive.
Yeah, so what Steve said in chat about that, he said, I feel like I need a Game Shark just to call it audible on this new system.
Damn.
Facts, dude. It takes a minute. Like it kills me. Like I've gotten times where I've had to burn a timeout because like I'm running out of my play clock and it's going too slow.
Because Zach, I've seen it. I've seen like videos of people doing it in older games.
Okay.
Where it's kind in older games, it's kind of like you hold down a button, a wheel. It's almost like a wheel comes up, and you can whip around, change everything, and
Okay.
you can change your entire every person on your like offense or defense in a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
In this, it takes a matter of seconds to get to the menu.
Yep.
To figure out how to change anything.
And it's not like when try to figure it out, it's like not even like, okay, what does what? It just takes so damn long to
Because the game's processing what you just entered?
Yeah, basically, because like what Steve said, try to pinch your lines, spread the linebackers, and press on the DBs. You're literally hitting 20 buttons. It's not like you're hitting 20 buttons. Like you're hitting it basically 20 damn times. Is more so what I feel like because it takes so damn long. Because again, it's like I love the direction they took for the game to make it all flashy. I love all the graphics they put in and stuff because it feels like college football. It stands out from Madden, which is the big thing. It doesn't need to be a Madden clone, but I feel like they maybe have gone a little too
much pizzazz, not
too
enough
much-
technicality.
Yeah, a little too much pizzazz, and the game just can't really keep up with it, and that's unfortunate because with all of the stuff they've got going on, I mean, it's one of my positives for the game is extremely detailed, from like the stadiums and everything. Like there's small details in the stadiums and like all the graphics that they use and stuff. That's like. They did their homework. They did a great job to really do this game justice for the teams and the fans. But I feel like it came at a little bit of a cost because it's just like I feel like the game just kind of staggers a bit at times and it suffers a little bit when you're just trying to do some simple things at the line. But the game is still fun. Like I'm still enjoying it. I've already played a lot of hours, but I still have just nitpicks throughout it. So like the big mode that they had to knock out of the park being Dynasty, recruiting. Very detailed, but I have beefs with it. Like it's very detailed, but I've got beefs.
I don't want to fucking do it.
Yeah, John doesn't like the recruiting.
I don't want to. The problem is you start a dynasty, and the first thing it tells you to do is check out your recruitment options,
Right.
and then you just get handed a list that you can sort by even if you sort it by recommended, there's a damn 200 people in there.
Right.
And it doesn't help because if you get to a position and it'll put 5 people for each position in there, and every single one of them say you need it.
Yeah. Hey, you can set all that to auto though.
You can. It doesn't fucking tell you how.
No, it's at that menu when you're going to set up the dynasty.
Yeah. The game does not you got to think of it from someone who's just picking this
just
up to
picking
play
it up. Yeah.
play it.
I understand.
And they get into that and go, shit, do I have to do all of this?
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, no,
It's like because
auto.
someone for me, it's like you could figure out that you could set it up to auto in that,
Right.
but it's like someone's just gonna be like, yeah, I just want to fucking make it play with my team, and they're gonna load into it, and then because every week it tells you to look at your damn recruitment options.
Yeah.
It's fucking tedious.
Oh, it's extremely tedious, but if you love Dynasty and stuff, that's part of it. That's part of the grind that we love. Recruiting is awesome. I will say the recruiting is very detailed. I have very minor beefs where it's like, one of the most random little gripes that I have is that I can't see the players overall once I get through the full recruiting process. I can see their stats, like that's cool, but I want to see a little bit more. I do like the full, send the house, DM the player, check out their socials, talk to their family and friends, and the customization for scheduling their visit. What are they going to do based on what they, their interests are? Like I enjoy all that aspect of it. I just think there could be a little tweaks going forward. I did see a tweet or something earlier about someone bitching about the inability to edit players, where it's like when it came to recruits, all being auto generated, like dude, they've got like a bunch of like Hispanic names and stuff, and it's just white dudes with like blonde hair and beards and shit. It's just like you can't change it to match the the vibe of the character. You know what I mean? So and again, it just goes back to a beef that I have is the inability to edit players. It just annoys the shit out of me. Like again, all of the IRL players, all right, that's whatever. I get that. All good. But like the fact that I can't edit the auto-generated custom players, like that annoys the absolute fuck out of me. I swear to Christ, if I recruit a damn quarterback and he gets an ugly ass number like 19, I'm gonna be pissed. It's just shit like that. It's just like, I don't even think you can create prospects. I could be wrong. I don't think I can. I don't think I can create prospects, which is also kind of stupid as well. Because it was also kind of one of the appeals is going into a new dynasty, and maybe you want to recruit one of your favorite players from a previous dynasty just to see where he goes and see how he does. Like, I mean, I do that. That's fun. I don't go after him necessarily, but one of my favorite players from a previous dynasty, make him again and see where he goes and see what he does. Like, I don't think you can create players for the in the recruiting board, which is also just kind of strange. I could be wrong on that immensely, and maybe I just haven't seen it. I don't know. My bad if I'm wrong. Road to Glory is also kind of interesting. Going into before the game came out, they already announced there'd be no high school element to it. Going into it, wish there was the high school element to it. The high school element was just fun, It's just a fun couple weeks. It kind of felt tedious at times, don't get me wrong, but a fun couple weeks. I mean, setting up your players, it's like you get asked like 3 questions from a reporter, and that's how you set it up.
Yeah, because I started with the was it Road
Road to Glory.
Yeah,
Road to Glory.
Yeah.
Couldn't keep that in my head. I started with that. I don't mind it because I just it's like I created my player, and it's like it's like there's not much for you to do for the first couple weeks of the season. But like I did the training in that, and by the 3rd week, it's like I had gained enough of the coach's trust for him to let me fight go for the position.
Yeah.
So it's like I kind of don't mind that because it would be kind of cool if you went through high school with a top prospect I put in and
Yeah,
got to
like
just
how it
like
used to
start
be.
off. But also I don't mind the aspect of you just being like, okay, I'm going to create this guy, and a couple weeks in I'm going to challenge for the for the position.
I think the high school thing is just a personal preference.
Yeah.
Because, I see both sides that, man, I really wish I could go through the high school element of things, or of, nah, I'm totally cool. Let's jump into it. You know what I mean? Let's just go ahead and get into it and have a great time. I get both sides.
Yeah.
I will say for Road to Glory, while it's college football, so it's fun. I'm having a good time. I got a hell of a shit ton of negatives, though, for Road to Glory. Me personally, I have got a lot of negatives for Road to Glory and few positives. Like the positives, man, I really enjoy all the different scenarios that can pop up, and just kind of like the depth behind that, where it's like you can get a text message like, hey, man, we're going to a party later. Do you want to go? And you can choose to go and potentially lose trust with the coaches, maybe be late for classes or whatever, or you can choose to be a good student. But no, I'm good, man. I got to study. I got to do this or that. I like that element to it. I like the different scenarios that can pop up of just like being a good teammate, being a good influence on the community. That's all fun. That feels great. The NIL aspect of it, where you can get NIL deals and everything. The way you spend your time between like working out, or maybe doing team activities for leadership, or studying to keep your GPA up, et cetera, et cetera. That's all fun. Coach trust, like the coach trust stuff. That's a lot of fun too, especially like as you get through the game and stuff like that. My only beef with the coach trust stuff is like I wish like when we were in game, I know this is probably getting like a little detail on the game dev side, and they just maybe not could figure a way out to make that work. I'm not sure. Is one little element I would love to see in the future as games continue to advance is like for you get coach trust as you make good plays and shit like that, touchdowns, whatever. I would love to get bonus points for coach trust if like I call a hot route and that hot route goes for like a big play or TD, because it happens a lot. Like they give me a play at the field, and I see something. It's like, okay, I can probably get like at least 15 yards of this. Okay, I can probably get a TD there with that guy, and I call the hot route, and we get exactly what I thought would happen. And it's like, give me a little extra points for that. That'd be pretty sweet. But man, the dislikes that I have, one of the biggest ones that I've already discovered, because I'm in year 2 with my QB, is the completely unrealistic of lead benching. Because I mean, like going back and like even in NCAA 14, if you got such like a great lead on the other team, like they would automatically sub in your second team, to let them have some reps, let your starters rest, not risk injury, and that's how it is with real life too. It is so damn unrealistic, and it infuriates the shit out of me. I don't give a damn if we had a senior QB with an 80 overall and I'm second string with a 70 overall. If we are losing to one of the generic FCS teams that don't actually exist, put me the fuck in. Like that's unrealistic. Like even when we have a massive lead, like we only had like 2 wins my first season. We had like one of those 2 wins. We had a massive lead. I didn't get a wink of playing time. But you best believe in my first season of starting, we're up 35 fucking points, and they pull me out for the second string, and I'm just like, the fuck.
See, I had the completely opposite response where I joined a team in the first game. By halftime, they were up by 35, and I got subbed in.
Yeah, no, it didn't happen with me. And here's where I got really pissed just earlier. It was Sam Houston came to Hawaii. I got my team up like 40 something to 7, and then they took the starters out, and randomly Sam Houston went on a drive, baby, in like the third or fourth quarter, and the game ended like with me winning by 3 points, and I never got subbed back in. So it's like as they're building up their return, closing the gap, I'm like, why aren't you putting me back in if we lose? Because you don't put me back in, I'm going to be pissed.
Because it sounds like the college coaches in that has the How to Coach for Dummies book.
Basically, dude, it annoys the shit out of me.
I will say there is something nostalgic about how this game works in like the Road to Glory. Because when like you play, like in Road to Glory, you play when your player would be doing something.
Yeah.
So if you're on offense, when defense happens, you just get a very quick, you get a view of the field, and you get like colored images on the field of what happened on the drive until you go back in. That is some MLB like 17 the show, Road to the Show type stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's like it started doing that. I'm like, I'm sitting there. I'm like, I don't need to see that. Why are you gonna waste 30 seconds of my time letting me know that they went that they went through a drive right there? Mm-hmm. It's like just because like the way it works in like Road to the Show now is you just jump from. It's like okay, it's like
scene to scene.
You just jump around. It's like okay, you were just at bat. The inning's over. Now you're either back up to bat or you're in the field because the ball's about to come your way or something.
Yeah.
Or like something is about to happen to involve your character. I don't need the unnecessary watching just a picture happen on the screen for what's happening in the game. That might just be me.
Yeah.
But it's like you said you're in year 2. Are you still enjoying seeing that happen?
That's a no.
Just think of how much more playing time you could have done in that period of time if your drive ended and then it's like you got a scoreboard pop up and then you went back in instead of having to watch 20 seconds of just nonsense go across the field.
Right. Yeah.
Because even if it's a 3 and out, nothing happens. I don't know. It's a little
Personal annoyance.
It was a personal annoyance for me because I was like, "Come on!" It's like we figured this out in the other sports game 6 years ago.
I was about to say one of the last NBA games I played was I think 22, and it did the same thing on my character thing. It's just when I was in, I played. When I wasn't, it just sped through things.
Right.
Yeah, it's like I don't know why that's got to be the solution. Why do I gotta speed through until my time comes back up? It's like show me scoreboard how much, or just a pop up. Their drive lasted this long.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to see the rest of it.
Yeah, right. Also, Dave is in chat. Dave, I am playing on PlayStation. I do want to get it for Xbox eventually, though. But that's what everyone else had it on was PlayStation. So had to get PlayStation Plus again. Wasn't happy about it. Is what it is.
Well, now you can test PlayStation Plus
again.
I assume you got the lowest tier.
No,
What is wrong with you?
I did get premium. I wanted to play some games that was on there that I've been looking for a little while. So figured I'd just.
This
get
was
premium.
just his excuse, and he's trying to complain about it. You bitch.
I was really hoping no one was gonna ask me what tier I got. I wasn't gonna lie. I could have easily lied and played it off, no big deal. But I gotta be honest. You know, we're all about honesty here. I did get premium, unfortunately.
At least it was only premium.
Only premium. That's the highest tier.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, I obviously I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
mess with PlayStation
Yeah.
enough.
No, it's the highest tier.
I don't think I've ever had PS Plus.
I canceled it when they did all their nonsense.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, when they changed everything. No, overall, top to bottom, you know, I feel like everything that we've said negative about college football is a lot of nitpicking, and it is. There are some legitimates, though. I think the staggering is a legitimate issue. I think the lack of editing players is an issue, but it is a very fun game. Just want to take that off. You know, when I said at the beginning, like, "Hey, it's time to leave the honeymoon phase," I think that's just me saying, "Let's stop calling this the most perfect game in football history," because it's not. Let's pump the brakes. It's really fun, but let's pump the brakes. It's not the greatest game in existence.
I mean,
14 still holds that title apparently.
14 is still really good.
I would like here's what I would say as someone who has not played a football game in years and played a lot of college football when I was younger.
Yeah,
This game does not play how I remembered it playing.
yeah,
This game does not feel how I remember it playing.
Right.
And I remember it in a really positive light.
right, yeah.
I have some nitpicks with it. I've played it some. It's like I'm playing it on the EA Play 10-hour trial. I don't know that I'm gonna buy it when the trial period is over, unless I suddenly start having a lot more fun. But like, just from somebody who's not typically like, I don't play a ton of sports games. I play the show. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah.
And then WWE.
That's different.
Shout out to Cody, Rhea, and Rey Mysterio coming to Warzone. Fucking stupid. Did you guys see that?
Nope.
Yeah, Cody, Rhea, and Rey Mysterio are coming to Warzone as skins,
Why not?
and you can
So what is Warzone?
Call of Duty. Yeah, and you can even do the crossroads on somebody. I saw this, and I saw one comment just like, what has Call of Duty become? And they're just like
Fortnite?
Yeah, Fortnite. That's
You said Warzone, and for some reason my mind went War Games.
Oh, okay.
Because we were talking about wrestling.
yeah. No.
Because after you said Call of Duty, I went, oh yeah.
Yeah, that's their battle royale. So
I'm just trying to imagine, like it, like that has to be like
That's weird.
that's got to be like you come up from behind someone and hit them with an execution or something. But I'm just imagining like two people come up and they both do an execution on like people next to each other. One guy's gonna like throw them to the ground, snap their neck, stab them 5 times or something. The other guy's gonna do a crossroads.
yep.
So can you only do Crossroads? You can't 619 somebody?
Yeah, it's just crossroads. I don't even. Think they
Okay,
added
try
Rhea.
to figure that out.
That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see which poor fuck had to animate that in Warzone.
Throw them into a window and then you knock the wall out as you come around.
I wanted to know if they made some unfortunate, like two people have to figure out animating that.
Imagine riptiding someone up
Yeah,
the top of
I
a
know.
building.
That's what I was gonna say was Riptide. I'll also add this, something I thought about with them adding Rhea is like I feel like they added just like an automatic cheat code with Rhea where it's just like, you know, there's gonna be so many players that's gonna see Rhea in the field. It's like I can't kill them. It's like I gotta leave mommy alone. I can't kill them.
That's not true.
That is totally true. That is totally true. I promise you, Shane is a COD player. I will ask him. I'm gonna ask Shane. Shane, if you see a Rhea on the field, are you gonna do anything about
That's
it?
one
He'll
person.
probably be, that's
Hey.
a lot of people that love mommy. What are you talking
Hey,
about?
Also, there's going to be a lot more than one mommy on the field.
That's also true. There's gonna be a lot.
People
of
are
them.
going to look at that shop and go, "Oh, I'm buying that."
Oh yeah, it's like that's an immediate purchase, man.
And they could
Jesus.
probably throw that in there for $50. People will still buy it.
People are gonna be buying it, man. The fandom there is very strong.
Yeah, I'd have no issue shooting her.
Well, I know you wouldn't.
I do enjoy the storyline going currently with that because I have seen some of the Jey Uso stuff
Oh yeah,
with
yeah.
the Waffle House comment.
Yeah. I saw like one little like interview, whatever, where whoever was interviewing Jay was just like, "Yo, do you have mommy's number?" He's just like, "Yeet," and he leaves, whatever. And she comes back and asks Rhea that. It's like, Rhea, does Jay have your number? She just kind of pauses there for a minute. She just goes, "Yeet," and just leaves. That's been an interesting storyline.
But all right, wrong show.
Yeah, it's a future show coming. Future show coming. We can always make time for wrestling here, though. It's okay.
We've done it before.
That's still one of my favorite shorts that I've made. Of me and John reacting to Money in the Bank. Oh, jeez.
He sent me that, and my first thought was, man, I did not realize how much I was just staring off the screen.
Yeah.
Yep. But no, college football 25, it is a lot of fun. I just think as a community, we should leave the honeymoon phase and stop calling it the greatest game ever. There are people saying that this game has changed my life. I'm glad you're having a fun time. But let's come back to earth. It's a good game. It's got problems. Problems that can be improved on. That's the main thing if they improve upon it or not.